Hi Jonathan. Today for my second video project, I will discuss once the cycling season is over. So I created a PowerPoint for the people who came to the dinner for the ending season of the Levy Cycling Club. So these people could keep these souvenirs for a longer period of time. Indeed, to be paid, I sent my bill to the director with my expenses related to this summer competition. And I also started to send surveys to my athletes' parents so I could start Halloween next year already. Therefore, in my video, I will cover the modules 4, 6, and 7 in PowerPoint, which is the comments, the hyperlinks, and the animation. And I will also cover module 4 and 6 in Excel, which is the mortgage payment, and also the advanced filter criteria. So, to start with the PowerPoint, I chose the management theme and I did not change the color effects. I also chose the checkerboard transition and I chose the from the left effect option. I added some comments on some particular slides. So people are going to look at it. They're going to remember other athletes' victory also. And I added real pictures from the dinner in the PowerPoint. Yes. I also inserted a smaller graphic on slide 5, which is the vertical picture accentless one. And I've changed the smaller style to flat scene so it looks more like a podium. And in slide 3, I created the 3D pie to show which meal was more appreciated by people who were there. Afterwards, during the supper, I asked my athletes what they were the most proud of their cycling season, and I've added my favorite answers to this slide. I kept them anonymously so no one will know who was the most proud of his cycling season. And I've created black bullets, black bicycle bullet points with a picture from internet, so it is more appealing to the viewers. And I've also added mini hyperlinks in my PowerPoint. Thus, if we go back on the fourth slide, when we click on the picture, it goes directly, sorry for the mistake, it goes directly to the last slide of the PowerPoint, and this slide leads directly to the Levy Cycling Club website, so people can already subscribe for next year, so it is seen as a form of promotion. And also it could be useful for the organization team, since they'll know how many person will subscribe for next year. And also if we go back on slide 3, the picture is directly linked with the survey that I've sent to my parents, so I can notice which parents want to do. So parents can notice the questions I've sent, and also for the animation of the picture, I put the motion path in form of a heart, and with the applause sound to emphasize on Rosalie's victory, and I also use the grow shrink emphasize motion. If we go now in Excel, as I mentioned, I started to send surveys to my athlete's parent, so I copy and paste the answers I've already got on a sheet which is properly structured with the name of the person and with his or her answers. Indeed, I needed to import data from a text file, which is basically a worksheet, for example. But however, the results do not keep the same format as previously, but it is still similar. Then, to compile the result, I created a separate table. Thus, I could create an advanced filter criteria to the table to select the information that I wanted to be predominant. So my first criteria was people who wanted trainings to take place in Belfast. They were 3 out of 4 actually. And then I took a screenshot of the table that I've got and I put it on another sheet, which is this one. So there is no confusion. And then my second criteria was the people who wanted to have 2 trainings per week. As previously, I took a screenshot and I put it on the adjacent page. Yes, and we could do this for every criterion, and because it is visual, structured, and precise. Thus, to be paid, I sent my bill to my director. I described all my expenses related to the job with the amounts. And since I needed to take a bank loan to buy 5 bicycles to rent to my athletes, I also needed to record the rent interest expense. Thus, on the other page, I described the interest on the bank loan. However, if the rate changes, eventually I added the varying interest rate schedule for my director, so he will understand if ever modifications are made to the amount I request. And I also included the amortization schedule so my director can verify the amount that I put in the bill. Thus, after 8 months of since it's been 8 months that I took the bank loan, I got a total of $651.55 of interest expense on my bank loan. So this is what I recorded right here on my bill. So finally, to conclude, I will answer the question, how is the theory different or the same as in reality? I will revise the elements that I did during my project. Honestly, I do not think that the Levy Cycling Club would provide a PowerPoint for the season ending, since it cannot contain all the information to satisfy everyone, because there are too many different branches in this sport club. However, if it is seen as a form of promotion to insist the people to subscribe for next year, I think that it could be very helpful, and it would actually really encourage the members to subscribe and remind them also. If the management team could have a better idea, and the management team could have a better idea of the number of members they will have for the next summer, and they could start looking for the organization of eventual activities and trips. Therefore, I do not think that this PowerPoint really represents reality, since contrary, my bill is actually the real one that I've gave to my director. So the theory is really the same as in reality. Yet, I do not think that any organization will ask their employees to take a bank loan to buy articles for them. So my interest expense schedule becomes useless for the job that I have right now, but it could still be extremely helpful for someone who borrows money in day-to-day life. It could help the person to handle his or her expenses, and to be conscious that the interest rate can always change, and it can change rapidly. As for my survey, in reality, we do not provide something like this. Yes, we are doing, but we should do something like this since it could be helpful, because the parents' opinion matters a lot for us. And with the criteria option, it makes everything clear. Also, it does not require a lot of time to comply, and most of the member would be satisfied, even us as trainers and the parents. So everyone would be advantageous. Yes. So this is. I hope you learn some new things and that you appreciated my video. Thank you.